The season is moving pretty fast, and another edition of the Champions League is here already. Round one is just around the corner, and we have some exciting games to look forward to. Of course, five English sides are in the Champions League, and we take a look at their fixtures for round one and what we think will happen. First off, Max, without wasting much time, Arsenal seem to be cruising at the moment, enjoying their victory over Forest at the weekend. But do you think they'll be able to beat Bilbao away from home?
Mm, yeah, I actually can expect them to pretty easily win against Bilbao because they looked quite terrible yesterday against Alaves and they also lost to Osasuna at home. So they're not the same Bilbao that we used to know at home. And also looking at Arsenal form, it looks like they're gonna pretty easily win this game.
Yeah, I don't want to sound too biased, but yeah, I think Arsenal should be winning this game. It might not be as straightforward as many think, but I think at the end of the 90 minutes, regardless, Arsenal should just definitely get a result away from home. And moving on to Spurs, who also had a convincing victory, though against West Ham, anyways. Can they start their Champions League note on a winning note, also against a Spanish side in Villarreal?
Well, I'd say this one is a bit harder to predict because it's Spurs. They always Spurs as ever. But looking at their form, we are not counting Bournemouth game that they just had a bad day. Otherwise, this season they look pretty good, and I guess they can snatch this win, but it's not gonna be as easy as everybody expect.
Yeah, fair enough. And I think one of the game of the rounds actually is Barca taking on Newcastle. They're actually traveling to England to take on Newcastle. And when you look at what people are saying out there, everyone expects Barca to win convincingly. I don't think so. But do you think Barca are actually favorites against Newcastle, especially with the potential absence of Lamine Yamal?
I mean, they're pretty much always the favorites, but looking at this game, and as you mentioned, probably Lamine is not gonna play this game, and he was the main agent of the club for 2 years, I'd say. And looking for that, playing on the road at Newcastle, it's always a hard game, and also Newcastle looked much better this week against Wolves. So actually, I can see a draw here, but I don't really expect Newcastle to win anyways, even if Yamal is not playing. But I can expect a tight game and probably even a draw.
Yeah, a draw looks like something that could happen, and if a draw does not happen, it seems like I don't know, Barca could snatch a win. But yeah, it's one game that could actually go anyway. To be fair, and moving on to yet another exciting result: Chelsea taking on Bayern. Nicolas Jackson facing Chelsea very quickly. How do you see that game going, especially after Chelsea dropped points to Brentford at the weekend?
Yeah, and also we should take in mind that Bayern is looking absolute monster in their Bundesliga. Yeah, it used to be always like that, but currently they're scoring a lot of goals. And looking at Chelsea's defense, it looks like Bayern going to score at least two here. And I don't really believe that Chelsea can also score two or three. So I'd say most likely it's a Bayern win, but at best for Chelsea it could be a draw.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, that's one thing I was thinking of when I, saw this tie as well. Goals. I think we'll have lots of goals in that game. But yeah, whether Chelsea can outscore Bayern is another issue. But I also think both sides are going to score, definitely. And moving on to Manchester City, they've had an unconvincing start to their campaign by Guardiola standards. Do you think they are strong enough to see off Napoli? Note that Napoli are also in decent form since the start of the season.
Yeah, we're recording that before the Man City and Man United game, and probably this is going to be decisive before this matchup against Napoli because if they're going to lose against United, they'll have a lot of critics around them, and also they're not looking so well as they used to be. But and also Napoli is doing pretty well, winning every single game in Serie A, and I actually expect this game to be pretty tight and I would even give some bold prediction that Man City are not going to win this game.
Yeah, you took that right out of my mouth. I was also going to say the same. That honestly, I really don't see City winning this game, regardless of what happens against Manchester United. But yeah, it's an home fixture, so that might be some extra motivation. So, anyways, in one of the ties of the round, once again, is there a potential upset on the cards when Atletico face Liverpool? Just like Max pointed out, we are also recording this video before Liverpool take on Burnley. So we can't, use that in our analysis. But Liverpool taking on Atletico, how do you think that game could go?
Actually, I feel like Slot probably gonna give his team a bit of rest before the Burnley game, and probably he's not gonna use everybody's starters in this one. And I think this gonna help them a lot because first up, Atletico is not looking great currently. Yeah, they won against Villarreal, but before that they lost to Espanyol, drawn with Elche and Alaves, and it's not what I expect from Atletico Madrid actually. And also playing at Anfield, it's always pretty hard for any team. So I feel like it's gonna be maybe 2 or 3 goals at best in this game, and Liverpool snatching too much.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree with you. Like Atletico have not been the same Atletico side that we know. So Liverpool are going into this one as favorite, and the fact that it's also at Anfield, I think they are strong favorite to just take all 3 points early on. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see how all that unfolds. And there you have it. Those are our predictions and our thoughts ahead of the Champions League round one. It promises to be exciting. It promises to be fun, and we'll be here to give all the latest talking points as all the results unfold.